Good afternoon, class. So today is 2nd of January, and the first news is again, as I was saying for the last 2 days, that maybe Covishield will be given a go ahead by the expert panel, and this has been done. And this particular vaccine has been developed by AstraZeneca and not AstraZeneca, but the Serum Institute of Pune. So these are some of the things that are currently talking about that whether this particular vaccine has efficacy, because they are currently claiming efficacy of approximately 60% because of the first dose, and this efficacy is soon going to increase up to uh, by the second dose up to 92%. That is what they have said. We do not know whether this will be possible or not, but keeping all these things aside, the debate has now been on with respect to the development of the infrastructure and with respect to the cold chain storage that we require. ठीक है, सो इसको पढ़ लीजिएगा, डिटेल में जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. The next news is related to Assam Congress plan one family one job scheme. Now why they are planning this? So because there have been uh, election that are due in the next year, and these elections will certainly have to be fought on the basis of work that you have done. So the Congress government is basically implementing different policies, and they have said that from every family there will be one government job that will be provided to a particular family. The next that they have declared is that all the BPL family under the NYAY scheme, 75,000 per month will be provided to the BPL families. The next one is the assembly elections that are currently going on. So there are different type of electricity incentives that are being issued. For example, up to 150 units of electricity. The you can say charges will not be there, and everything will be free if you have consumed up to 150 units of electricity. So I hope this is clear. And these are some of the things that they are currently debating, not important. There's one very important article that have come today, and that is related to, I think most of the people have said it to the relation to the UP Religious Act, and they have read it in the same way. But let me take it. Mr. Madan B. Lokur, first of all, is the retired Supreme Court judge, and he is a retired Supreme Court judge, Madan B. Lokur, and the statement that he have taken is not with respect to the vilification of the interfaith marriages and the rights that are being violated. He have basically written or criticized every issue that is related to the anti-conversion bill of UP. Okay, so please make note of this particular article. I have already told you that read what does Article 123 provides, what does Article 213 provides, what does Article 312 provides. These are the three articles I have told you to read. And Article 213 provides the ordinance making power to the Governor of India, and on, sorry, not the Governor of India, but to the Governor of the state on the advice of the, you can say, cabinet of the state, or you can say ministers of the state. Okay, so these are the things. First of all, read the statement of Article 213. What does Article 213 says? He says that if at any time, except when the legislative assembly of a state is session, or where there is a legislative council in state, except when both houses of the legislature are in session, the governor is satisfied that the circumstances exist which render it necessary for to take immediate action, he may promulgate such ordinance as the circumstances appear to him require. So there are three preconditions, he says, with respect to the ordinance. First of all, he criticized the way in which the law was made into place. He says there are three preconditions for enacting any ordinance. Now, ordinance is the law-making power of governor, under which, on the advice of the cabinet or on the advice of the council of minister of the state, the governor can make any law. But the three conditions are: the houses should not be in sitting. This is the first condition. The state legislature should not be in sitting. Second, there should be circumstances that should provide for the ordinance. And more importantly, whatever the instances are, they should require immediate action. That's why only the ordinance could be promulgated. But what the Modi government and the state UP government has been doing, that they have been promulgated different type of ordinances that are not needed to be provided ordinances, or they should not be made in the way the ordinances are being enacted and then pushed to make into law. So he says that the circumstances that we are currently seeing of the misuse of this Article 213 or Article 123 is, for example, the air quality management ordinance that is enacted by the center. The center has given a 4-page format that why it was urgent. That's why Article 123 has been used from Constitution of India, and therefore they are able to enact the law for the prevention of the air quality management. The second one is the farmers produce bill. Now in that particular case, the government of India have not given any justification. Now in that particular case, Mr. Madan B. Lokur has said, respected judge of the Supreme Court or the Lord of the Supreme Court have said that whenever the governor have taken or promulgated any ordinance, the Supreme Court have an authority or have a right to look into the decision, that on which sense or on which urgency, or if the government is satisfied. The satisfaction of government is not the individual satisfaction of the government, as is said in the article. The satisfaction of the governor includes the satisfaction of the cabinet. So if the cabinet is satisfied, the Supreme Court can look directly into the satisfaction or the sense of decision, or on which urgency the ordinance or the thing has been enacted. Okay. So whether the ordinance was required, whether the ordinance was not required, that are the separate issue. Now let us come to the part of the article, that what is the UP ordinance says. The UP ordinance basically prohibits two kind of marriages. First of all, by coercion, force or any other allurement. No marriage should happen. He says that we are completely supportive of it, because religion is an individual faith. If you want to believe in something, you can believe. If you want to believe in something else, you can also believe that. The second issue, he says that when it comes to marriage, if you are saying that if you are converting your religion for the purpose of marriage, that actually defeat the whole purpose of the fundamental right to freedom to make choices, freedom to choose your own religion, and freedom of the conscience. Because Article 25 provide a freedom of conscience, and freedom of conscience basically allows you to adopt any religion. Now you are taking that away. Secondly, he says that this actually give a type of a sense to the police that they are the person who should prevent the illegal marriages which they see as illegal. May not be legal, because there may be Hindu girl and Muslim boy who want to marry one another. So that will be completely justified, and the girl, if in her own will want to change her religion, but she cannot marry if she has changed her religion or some other issues, whatever the UP law have suggested. I hope you understand the UP law. UP law simply says that if you are changing your religion for the purpose of marriage, that marriage would not be happening, or the conversion would not be happening. So there you are abridging or basically pushing aside whatever the freedom of choice under Article 25 for the change of the religion was provided. Now, these are the things that are currently debated right now. Now, apart from that, there is basically the district magistrate who will be there under the Special Marriage Act. You will have to mention the criteria that whether your marriage is currently interfaith marriage, you can only provide under the Special Marriage Act of 1954. So what are the various provisions that are currently debated here? Now, what are the conscious to convert? Now, in that particular case, the burden of proof is also lies on the person who is converting or who is getting converted. So the police can take you into any of the, or even under suspicion they can take you, and they will not have to prove that this marriage is currently going under a forced conversion or under allurement. So for that, Mr. Madan B. Lokur have said that if there is a Muslim boy and or let's say reverse the rule, if there is a Muslim girl and a Hindu boy, they are eating let's say some type of pizza at a shop, then a person who could actually inflict a charge on them that the girl was allured or the boy was allured with the offering of the pizza, that can also be turned into a crime. So the police does not lie or should not have to lie or keep on the burden of proof. And in that particular case, there may be various implications for the youth who have been engaged, because the family structure is such There may be certain type of pressures who will be committed. So the person will say whatever they will say, the police will pick them up from the places, and ultimately the burden of proof will lie on the people who have been charged in those particular case. Okay? So he says that the ordinance is prone to abuse, and we have seen the consequences of intimidation, bullying, and arbitrary interest that actually led to the loss of the fetus. Now, it is ill-conceived, overboard, and vague in many respects. Basically, this is a judgment of the Supreme Court judge, and probably we should take it very seriously. We do not know what the Supreme Court judges will say, but he is a retired Supreme Court judge who have presented his opinion in the newspaper. So he says earlier there were shotgun weddings who were called as an offense, but now we will be seeing a pizza-induced weddings, and that would be also an offense. So these are some of the things that he have talked about and he have debated on. Please make note of this. No need to go into the article, just he want to criticize Article 213, how the government has been using them, whether they should be using them, whether they should not be using them, how they should be functioning, how they should not be functioning, what are the various drawbacks in the UP law. If the UP law stops somebody from marrying if you are changing your religion, the coercion he completely explained, but how do you read about coercion? Because the person can agree first and then change the statement later. So there are various type of loopholes that are present in the law, and basically according to Madan B. Lokur, it is basically saying to the public that now officially if you convert for changing your religion, then you will be put behind bars under the criminal law, which is not expected of a free democracy like India, in which religion was a individual subject and all the persons are free to profess and propagate their religion according to the sources or ways in which they want to do. So I hope this is clear. The next article is PM Rangvi's project for affordable housing. Now this is very important. Now what Mr. Prime Minister Modi have done, he have basically laid a foundation stone of 6 lighthouse project in the 6 cities as a part of Global Housing Technology Challenge India. Now these are not lighthouses, as we are, I think most of the time people when we talk about lighthouses are basically for the ships. This is not that kind of lighthouse. This is a challenge with respect to the development of the lighthouses, and with the use of the increasing technology and with the use of the modern construction. Basically what Mr. Modi emphasizes to do, he want to make affordable houses at a lesser cost for a larger amount in an efficient manner, larger amount of people in an efficient manner. So these are some of the things that he talked about. The cooperation extended by the states, he says that these are the cooperative federalism strengthening things. So there are 6 cities who has been selected: Indore, Rajkot, Chennai, Ranchi, Agartala and Lucknow. Okay? So please remember, Indore is in where? In Madhya Pradesh, Rajkot is in Gujarat, Chennai is in Tamil Nadu, Ranchi is in Jharkhand, Agartala is in Tripura, and Lucknow is in Uttar Pradesh. So these are the 6 states who has been selected. The next one is the India-Sikh action for attack on Pak temple. So there was a temple called as Karak Hindu temple that has been destroyed by some of the people in the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province in Pakistan. And India have issued a remark that why the Hindu temple has been provided. So that is a tug of war that is currently going on, brawling between India and Pakistan. Both are accusing each other of not sparing the minorities. But we have seen a systematic exclusion of the minorities with respect to the population that was existing in Pakistan, but India this has not happened. So the next one is 2020 Rajya Sabha saw lowest number of sitting ever, but the Rajya Sabha chairman of the Rajya Sabha have said that the efficiency have increased by approximately 22 or 40%, something like that. Now what is the difference between the two? First of all, how many times the Rajya Sabha have met? Rajya Sabha have only met for 33 days this year, which is the lowest number of sitting after 1984. The BJP, it had 93 members, which is the largest party, and therefore Rajya Sabha is no longer a stumbling block as it was in the case of first tenure. So they can easily secure the majority in the Rajya Sabha. Okay. The next one is although the days are lesser, 33 days, but 39 bills are being passed by Rajya Sabha in that particular time. So it is Lok Sabha in majority and Rajya Sabha in majority. This is what they are doing. So this is the 17th Lok Sabha we are currently working for. And this is how the fast track of the bills have actually gotten into. And when we talk about the bills who have been recommended, so in the 15th Lok Sabha, almost 71% of the bills were referred to the select committee. In the 16th Lok Sabha, only 27%, and now we are only seeing a 10% of the bills that are referred to the select committee. Now, what does the select committee do? Because most of the members cannot debate and cannot argue about what is present in the bill and what is not present in the bill, because the parliamentarians who are sitting in the parliament, they also have a whole lot of work to look out for. There are ministers who have to work full time. In that particular scenario, the select committee is being appointed so that there is a form of experts that could be included in those particular committee who can debate on the certain issues of the bill, and whatever the bill or the shortcomings that are present in the bill will go away. So these are some of the things that they have been debated. Okay, next news is Teach Bhima Koregaon Battle. This is said by Athavale. Athavale is a union minister. Now we have a paid memorial to the 1818 episode. We have just completed this in history. I hope you remember the third Anglo-Maratha war. I have told you that the Pindaris were fighting on the sides of Marathas against the British. But from the British sides, who were fighting? They were fighting Mahar community people. So these Mahar community people were the low caste people who were not treated fairly by the Maratha people. So that's why there is a fight between the two. And there was a bicentenary celebration in 2018, and there was a clash, and the social tensions were heightened in Maharashtra. So see how the history is playing its role. The thing or the event that happened in the third Anglo-Maratha war, if you do not remember Anglo-Maratha war, please read Anglo-Maratha war. The third Anglo-Maratha war, what role the Pindaris played, why they want to overthrow the British Empire, and from the British Empire, the Mahar community was fighting against the Marathas. Okay? So these are some of the things you should remember. If you do not remember the third Maratha war, please read it. I think that is it. Yeah. So अभी के लिए इतना ही करते हैं. Next lecture में there is another article. No. Okay. So आज के लिए इतना ही करते हैं. फिर next lecture में देखते हैं.